Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we delve into the bourbon journey of Clayton Sebacher. Maybe I'm saying that right, maybe I'm not.
That's right.
My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Clayton, Goeken, and Schott.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, so yes, you said it right, which I never say it right, so you got it right there, but I put it in there phonetically.
You did, and that's what you should have been doing for literally the past 7 or 8 years. Everything's in there exactly how they read, like Andrew Weebrink. I didn't say Andrew's fucking last name correctly for 5 years.
The spelling of that, by the way, is Wiehebrinck. When you look at that, your brain just locks up. Yeah, it's like
you have no. I'd see it and I was like,
why he?
Who the fuck is that?
Right.
And why is he on the show?
Right.
I can't say that. I can barely read my own name.
Right. Yeah. So, but Clayton's a tough one because I would guess that Clayton, it's got to be 0% of people that say your name the way you want it to be pronounced by looking at it. Just, right?
Are you sure you're doing it right?
I've never had anyone. I mean, I think so.
Sebacher would 100%. I bet you get Sebacher almost every time. And that's not the right way to say it.
I get a lot of Sebacher.
Sebacher?
What the hell?
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like that.
We live in a different type of town. Okay. It's just,
Huh. Sebacher.
Okay. Well,
I got a lot of different pronunciations on mine as a kid. In high school, I was a wrestler, and so they call your name out, when it's time to go to the mat. And I got Goeken, Geeken, Gaken, Goiken.
Goiken. Goiter.
Goiter. Never got that one.
Schott's an easy one. That's like the one name you can't mess up there. So yeah. And Beka, I guess Neely's easy too, and then Bolton was easy too. So
you would assume.
She's always had
I did at one point have a Uber driver say, "How do you say your name?" It was in there, Rebecca, and I was like, "Rebecca?" Like I'm not
Rebecca.
sure. Yeah, it was like, and it didn't make any sense why he wouldn't know how to say it. And I don't look especially foreign, and so like it's not like I
bet he did.
No, white dude.
No.
It was a white dude, and I am very clearly a white woman. This was not this was like just a regular Midwesterner.
Yeah, Clayton.
No Jake Paul in here today?
So, yeah. All right, small talk. Who said? Oh, Clayton said he's got.
Clayton said he's got his own.
Let's see what he's got here on his own show. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, so I think my last small talk, I like to bring up, it's almost fall, chili season. What is your favorite non-typical item or food to add into chili? Okay. Outside of, your ground beef, your beans, your tomato, outside of those items, what's your favorite thing to add in there just as a little something extra?
One or two?
One.
However many you want.
Whoa.
I didn't realize you were getting that fancy on me.
How many items do you put in?
Well, the two things I put in are a little cinnamon and a double shot of espresso.
Interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't eat your chili.
I've heard of like coffee rubbing the ground beef, but I've never heard of adding espresso to it.
Yeah, espresso just adds an earthiness, so you'd be surprised. You don't taste it, but it just.
I can see how espresso would actually be pretty good in that. I can agree on that one.
I agree. I agree with.
I could try that one, but the cinnamon. No.
I don't particularly enjoy cinnamon in my chili.
Yeah, but not a lot. You just you don't make it like spaghetti chili where it tastes like you
don't want it to taste like a snickerdoodle chili.
Oh my God.
But it's good. It's my surprise thing, since you said ground beef is the standard, I do put ground beef in there, but I also put steak in there, cut up steak, and it's two different textures of meat. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Are you making the chili, Steve?
I do. I do make the chili. So
chili would be drink water with it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I only drink water, coffee, and whiskey. So yeah. So
Steve's making chili. I'm proud of you, Steve.
Yeah, I do. That's my indoor. That's my indoor thing. I make. When it's chili night, I make that.
Have you ever done chili on the egg?
No, I never have.
Over the top chili?
You could. Yeah,
definitely. My son turned me on to the over the top chili. So you take all of your other ingredients besides the meat, and you put that in. We like to use like either a Lodge pot or like a La Crusette, like a Lodge pot with a ceramic lining.
Right.
You put that all in. You put a grate over the top of that, and you take all of your meat and you make a meatloaf type ball out of it. Put that on the grate in the smoker, and you smoke that for like 4 hours at 2 1/4.
Yeah.
And then the grease drips into the chili, and then when it's done, you take the meat out and you just crumble it and put it into the chili.
Sounds good, actually.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. The key to good chili is definitely low and slow, long simmer. I mean,
yeah.
It's
always best the second day.
It's not like you make chili in 20 minutes. It's that's not a 20-minute meal. It's
So has anybody ever made a white casserole with their chili?
No.
You know what that is, don't you?
No.
You take a cake pan, line the bottom with White Castle burgers, ladle your chili on top, and then you take cheddar cheese and onion, throw it in the oven at about 325 for about an hour, let all that cheese and onion brown, then you pull it out, and then you flop it on a plate.
This would be the day I pop in at Schott's house on this night.
Yikes.
The smell of that stuff cooking, followed by Schott's body reacting to it afterwards. That's the night I show up. I was in the neighborhood, thought I'd pop in. Oh my God!
No, thank you. I don't want to replace the plumbing in my house, so I'll pass them on.
Fair.
I use a pound of hamburger and a pound of sausage.
Okay.
Routinely for any casserole or any dish that calls for 2 pounds of meat, it's usually 1 and 1.
What kind of sausage?
But in chili,
do you do like a seasoned sausage?
Or chorizo?
I like a hot sausage if possible. Not sage, definitely not maple. No maple ever.
Like a chorizo or an
sausage. No, I don't use
chorizo.
Those.
Would be too greasy, I think.
I don't use those in that. I use chorizo with eggs.
Yeah, I like chorizo
and andouille with shrimp and potatoes and stuff.
Yes, that's good. Good call. Do you crumble the sausage or do you leave it in slices in there? Okay, I think that's the way to go too.
It's bulk sausage cooked with the hamburger, chopped up fine. And then if I have some, which I usually do because I smoke a lot of pork butts, I like to throw pulled pork in it too.
Okay. Oh, I can be into that.
Yeah, that's good.
Solid.
I've put finely chopped up and fried bacon in mine before, like finely chopped up, fried up, and then put it in there. Not big pieces of bacon because you don't want like the weird gristly bacon in it, like soft.
Sounds good too.
But finely chopped up, put in a pan. Almost
should be taking notes on this show.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Well, these recipes
this is award-winning stuff here.
Yeah. Do you think, or here's a question for all of you, and I know then we'll get to Clayton who asked the question here. Would you do this in July day when it's, say, 103 degrees? Clayton saying yes.
I would.
Absolutely.
No. I like chili, and when it's cold outside. Yeah.
Gotta be chilly. It's gotta be chilly.
It's better, man.
Yeah.
It's better than.
I think that's the best.
Chili is a 4-season meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't eat chili in the summer, but I'm not making chili in the summertime.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
It's like
if it's there and it's good, I will eat it.
The best is in the fall when you get like that first cold snap, and if you're having chili, that's perfection.
Here's another question about chili. Does sour cream go on top of chili? Sour cream or cottage cheese? Is that something that any of you guys put on top of it?
I've never seen anybody put cottage cheese.
Really?
Sour cream, yes.
Use cottage cheese instead of sour cream a lot.
Cottage cheese.
You runt it.
The cottage cheese is
in place of sour cream.
Cottage cheese is sour cream.
Cottage cheese is really good on top of, and especially like cold cottage cheese, right on top of the hot chili. And you can take a little scoop of the cottage cheese with the chili, and it kind of cools it off a little bit.
Oh no, you mix it.
Well, you mix it too, but you can kind of like take little scoops, and it kind of cools it off a little bit. It's delicious.
This is one of those.
Just your cheddar.
This is one of those things.
Cheddar.
I mean, cheddar's good on there too.
Cheddar makes it better.
Cheddar. I'm telling you.
Hot sauce sent across your cheddar. Man, now you're living.
Cottage cheese is good on chili.
No, that's a mistake. Don't. Well, I'll edit that out, folks. You didn't hear that. I'll be sure to edit that out.
You're going to see your lips moving and nothing coming out.
Well, they won't see anything because it's not.
He's still
it's not on video.
Schott has no idea what's happening right now. He's just hanging out with a bunch of people.
He's like making sure he looks cool because he's like, oh God, we're on camera.
It'll be one of the clips in the Bourbon Palooza.
Yeah.
Or not the Palooza, the Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That one.
There you go. I'll release some of that on yes. I usually just do Beka videos because they trend well for me, but I'll try a shot.
Yeah, he makes money off mine.
She gets a lot of views. She gets a lot of
2 cents per video.
I'm hanging out with Beka the next couple days. I mean, that camera will just be focused on her the whole time. It'll be like, oh, hey, Beka, breakfast? Oh, what's for breakfast, Beka?
Hey, how's it going? I mean, he's going to just make my head is going to grow too much. I'm going to be like, I'm a fucking celebrity.
All right, Clayton, you asked the question. What's your answer? What's your secret chili ingredient?
So for me, I always love to do a lot of peppers, but I like to actually flame roast them and actually roast the outsides of them, then chop them up, so that gives them a lot more flavor to them.
Yep, that's really good.
That's usually my go-to. Not just the peppers,
flame
but
roasted.
Doing the extra work. Yeah.
How do you flame them?
That sounds good.
Just over the grill, nice and simple. I mean, I don't get the charcoal going for something like that, but I'll just over the gas grill.
Steve, are you going to? Oh, not charcoal. Oh God, Steve, are you going to have a chili cook-off at the shop?
A lot of people keep asking for that, so maybe yes, yeah. Now that we got we're good, I think that'd be a good fall event. So yes,
yeah.
We'll look to do that this fall. Chili cook-off. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, the over the top chili. That's what you got to do first is roast the peppers and onions on the smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Then you want to get those in that chili right away, right? You're not putting that in later with the meat.
No. You roast those and then put them in with the sauce and the beans.
I was going to say.
And put them in the pot.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Goeken. Goeken, what do you got, man?
I've got a rye MB Roland.
Okay.
I think it has a name. Mudcat Mike's pick.
Okay.
Ooh.
There we go.
Okay. We heard that
Nothing.
one.
You did? Okay.
That was your best one ever. It was terrible.
I gotta figure this mic out. I don't understand this thing.
All right.
Figure out your audio.
Yeah, figure out your audio. Clayton's next.
I've got a barrel select of one of my favorites, Old Blue.
Old Blue, that's
from our
good.
friends at Woodhead. This is the Bourbon.
Oh,
I picked this one up luckily at the garage sale, and happy to have this one back. So here we go.
Okay. I think Goeken had a louder one. That wasn't much going on there. Goken's was louder. Again, not that it was loud, but we heard it. All right, Schott, you're next. This thing's wide open, it appears.
I've got the Art of the Spirits.
Okay.
What is it? The Missouri Veterans.
None of our contestants have yet to win one of these cork pops. Let's see what happens.
Oh, it's lame.
Let me talk over it. So
there was nothing there.
Goeken has the lead. He could win this thing.
Look at this.
Yeah. Beka has yet to go, though. Beka, what do you got?
I've got a bottle here from Bluegrass Distillers, a single barrel of their toasted oak, and it looks like this.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Nice and full.
Now, did you get to bottle that yourself?
Nice try, Jim.
Okay. Okay. That was solid, a little bit squeaky, but definitely a solid cork pop. That's probably going to win. I got my Boo Rye here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull this one out of the fire. I don't think so. No. Beka wins. Beka wins. 3 for 3 for Beka.
3 for 3. Wow.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the bourbon journey of Clayton Sebacher. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Cathy Cole. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Clayton's bourbon journey.
Yes, we are. Same first question, Clayton. How did this thing get started?
Yeah, so I think mine really kind of got started. I had one of my late uncles. He worked at Anheuser-Busch, and he was a lead brewer or brewmaster for their R&D. And so having him around all the time was really, because he was one of those guys that would like speak to you. You're 10 years old, but he'd speak to you like you were a 40-something-year-old adult. And so he'd always tell us about all of his all the stuff he was doing at working, all the stuff he was trying out and making, and sampling out and doing all their product testing and stuff. And so I'd always like kind of grown up with that type of appreciation of like what he does and the chemistry behind it. And so several years ago, in college, all we drank was beer because that was the cheapest thing we could get. Now looking back on it, it probably made more sense to be drinking whiskey because it would have been a little more functional. But, after that, I just kind of met some friends that were a little bit older than I was. And because, my wife is older. And so they were big bourbon drinkers, and that's kind of how I got into it. And then from there, I just, loved the whole science behind it and just listening to and reading about what everyone does differently and what they do to make, all the same ingredients their own and their own little twist on it. And so it kind of just went from there. And I'm one of those people that I'm either like not into something or I'm like all in. Like I can't be like in the middle. I have to be committed. And so it just kind of went from there.
Gotcha.
And then I met you, Steve, and then it really took off.
Yeah. So that was a big moment, huh? When you start coming in there and tasting our whiskey and learning about all that stuff. And again, a lot of people from the industry come in there. So yeah, it's a game.
Absolutely.
For sure. What else do you guys want to know about Clayton's bourbon journey?
What's your favorite cheap pour of bourbon? Cheap.
That's a tough one. Cheap.
Opportunity to make some points here. We'll see what he says.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I think if I'm out at a restaurant, I'm gonna imagine it's only got a lot of heritage stuff on it, but my go-to is probably gonna be Four Roses Single Barrel at a restaurant that doesn't have a big selection. That's gonna be my cheaper. I think probably around $10-11 for a pour.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that appropriate, Beka?
I guess we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. What else do you guys want to know? Oh.
Let's see here.
What was the first bottle you bought?
Ooh.
First bottle I
Giant?
bought.
Yourself.
Green Giant.
The green bean almond.
The first one I bought was actually, I think I got it at Total Wine. And it was the, gosh, what was it? I've got it on the shelf right now, and I can picture the bottle, but I can't even think of the name. But it was
he locked up on us.
No, yeah, I did. It was Balcones Rye. Just their no single barrel or anything, and I loved it because it was like that chocolate and leather notes. That was like, I'd be sitting out on my front porch having a cigar, and that was just like, I feel Western. I feel like I'm on the frontier, in St. Louis City.
Okay.
Right.
And so that was the first one I gravitated towards.
What's your favorite mash bill? Or I could say
corn.
secondary flavor grain.
My favorite mash bill is straight corn.
Really? 100% corn?
I love 100% corn.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one in the shop right now. So the Detling, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, especially that was the white corn, which I love. I love white corn in a mash bill.
Go-to proof.
I'm gonna say anywhere between like 115 and 125 is kind of like where I like to sit with a lot of the single barrels. Not too hot, but like not too low, to where I can kind of get started there without it being, because I don't really like to jump straight into like the 130s. But if I'm in between like 115, 125, that's a solid one to go into.
Proofs are interesting because if we just pull in the general public, the numbers would be way lower. But if you're just people that hang out at the ABV Barrel Shop, it's pretty high, actually.
The general public is, I had a woman the other day told me that she used to do barrel picks for Liquor Barn. And so I'm like, okay. And I started pulling some bottles out for her to taste. And she's like, can I see the bottles? And she grabbed the bottles and pulled out the top so she could smell them first. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's not appropriate.
Not cool.
But okay.
Right. Yeah.
She tasted our wheat. It's 110 proof wheat. And she was like, oh my God, that is just way too high proof. I'm like, it's barrel strength. And she thought it was the most offensive thing she's ever drank. And I was like, did you do barrel picks with Liquor Barn?
Because it's right out of the barrel. It's going to be even higher than that, typically.
Did you do barrel picks for Liquor Barn? You sure about that?
Sure.
Okay.
That just might have been one of those, here's the notes on paper. Why don't you pick which one sounds the best?
Might have been Bob's Liquor Barn.
Yeah.
Bob's Discount Liquor Barn.
Beka, I had somebody come in the other day. And they were with someone, they don't drink whiskey, and I'm like, oh, we got a couple other things. I got one that's brand new, tastes like a dreamsicle, Neely. And I let her try it. She drank it, and she's like, oh, that is pure fire. Creamsicle? I mean, just drink water. Seriously.
Free
at that point.
water.
Yeah. I had a woman do a full tasting with me once, and I worked my way, like we started high proof and worked our way down, and I was like, we got to the creams, and I was like, every single thing she went, oh, oh my God, that's just too much alcohol. And I'm like, Jesus. I was like, well, surely to God, you're going to like the bourbon ball or the chocolate truffle. Like, you can't, you'll like one of these. She tastes it. She goes, oh my God. Oh, there's so much alcohol. And I go, so she tastes it and I go, because my ego is being bruised at this point. Because I'm like, my God, like nothing, like salted caramel, like nothing. She hated all of it. And I go, ma'am, what do you usually drink? Because I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck is she drinking?
Right.
Well, turkey.
And she goes, I don't drink. She said, I don't drink anything.
Smart choice, actually.
And I was just like, why the fuck did you not tell me that at the beginning?
Right.
Because then I would have been setting myself up for not for failure. Because I just felt like a failure. Because I was like, oh well, this one's really smooth. You like this? Jesus fuck! Yeah. It's okay to not drink, but tell us you don't drink.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean that's like going from driver's ed to being a NASCAR driver. Like that's just you can't do it.
It's like what?
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's see here. After a long day at work, what bottle are you going to go for, and how are you going to drink it in your glass? Like, are you drinking it neat? You going to pour it over ice, Coca-Cola, ginger ale, water? Like, what bottle are you going to grab, and how are you going to drink it after a long day at work where you're like, that fucking sucked?
Shitty day.
I don't really do a whole lot of cocktails or anything. I'll usually always just drink it neat, and then I'll usually go towards my wood hat stuff. That's usually, I like to support local, and it being in Warren County is like kind of like a draw for me because my dad grew up there, and like I've driven past it 8,000 times, and I really, again, I love Gary's Blue Corn stuff, so that just kind of fits my wheelhouse right there. So I usually grab one of those and just sit back and enjoy it. I'm too impatient to make a cocktail.
Clayton's a great customer because he'll come in and usually whatever he buys, he cracks open. And we're like, hey, anybody want to try this? And who's ever there, he'll let them taste it right then and there. So sometimes we get the really special ones, and we'll only get 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles. Well, we can't even taste it then because we don't get enough. We can't open, if we're getting 2 bottles, we can't open one and we need to taste this so we can sell this other bottle. We can't. So we end up putting it on the shelf and then, but Clayton comes in, he'll buy it and crack it open right there. Be like, oh, sure, let's try it. So
yeah, why not?
Is there any bottle that you would not open?
I couldn't imagine, but we'll see.
Not you.
I know. I can't imagine.
I have 2 that
he's opened up everything, Beka. I'm not kidding you. He opened a $400 bottle at their store, and then just let the people try it. And then people even said, "I want a second glass," and he's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
Is there a bottle that you wouldn't open?
Yes. So I have 2 that I will not open because they're not for me. Okay. I have a Blanton's dump date for when both of my kids were born, the day they were born. Pretty cool. So those are like, that's a more memorabilia type thing that I will not open, but on their 21st birthday, I'll give that to them as like a, but other than that.
That's very cool.
Otherwise, everything's open.
Yeah.
How many bottles do you have? Do you think you have, or do you have? I know that not everybody knows.
I actually just digitized them like a week ago. So I do know off the top of my head. I have 188, and then I have like 15 heels that were supposed to make it to the heel parties that have never made it. And then I think probably like 110 of them are opened. Right around there, 120.
Okay.
Do you keep a spreadsheet?
Yeah, so I got tired of not when something be in like the back cabinet and not remembering that it was there, or like something like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll just put it in an Excel spreadsheet, so that way if someone is out somewhere and wants ask me hey, they've got this, do you want something this, or do you want to try this, I can search and be like, oh no, I've got it, or hey, no, grab something else instead.
Yeah.
Right.
The only 2 collections I can do that with, I know where stuff's at, is mine and Beka's. I know where Beka keeps all hers.
I know where the Roundbowers is now. If I ever get to her house.
A menu. You have your own menu.
Oh, you have a menu?
Do you have prices?
Wow, nice.
Fantastic.
He's got a menu.
I like that. I like that it's a leather-bound menu as well.
Yeah,
I need to
everything's available when people show up.
Yeah. Chris, Schott's also very generous. He brings in 3-chamber rye all the time. He tracks down 3-chamber rye and brings it in and shares it. So he's a very generous dude, for sure.
I only have one that I said I would never take out of the house, and that's the old 55 sweet corn.
Uh-huh.
But if you come to my house, you can try it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you're watching. He's hovering while you pour it. Yeah.
He's got his eyes on you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to open the box and the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. We drank some of that, didn't we, Goeken? No.
Oh, we drank the crap out of the
sweet corn.
Single
malt. Or no, the single malt. That's right.
Single malt.
Goeken, I didn't ask you how many bottles you have. How many bottles do you have?
On
32.
hand right now, about 175, 180.
Those are rookie numbers. You're gonna
Gotta bump those up.
Yeah, I keep track of how many I've had though, like how many I've drank. So my total is 350.
350. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I think that's what inspired my digitizing.
Steve's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I got 350. I can put my hands on right now, just for one. Yeah.
I don't have a room dedicated yet.
I really like it when I have someone come in the distillery and they're like, oh, we have so many bottles. We've got 45 right now. And I'm like, that is a lot. And it is a lot. Like, I'm not like, that is for a normal person, that is a lot of bottles.
Yeah.
And so I try to not be like, I'm like, oh, wow, it's a lot. But I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, people hear mine and I'm like, Steve's got 1,600. So I got a ways to go.
Yeah. And I think about the Legends number of bottles and I'm like, yeah. Right. Okay. And fucking Danny's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So. Yeah, there you go. So there's a little bit about what Clayton's got going on. There's Clayton's bourbon journey continuing on. He's a young one. So how old are you, Clayton?
I will be turning 30 this November.
Oh,
the dirty 30.
Man, that's a big deal. That's a big
youngin'.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Enjoy it. You got
my December 40th, so
you got a great decade ahead of you, and then it starts going downhill.
All downhill.
Yeah. Once you hit the 4-0, it gets bad.
Nice shirt.
Yeah. 4-0 gets bad, and then wait till you hit 50. It's fucking terrible.
Didn't get bad until 50 for me.
If not 40s are bad.
40 wasn't bad. 50's been the downfall.
Yeah.
60. Like I said,
I don't know. My body started breaking down at 25. So I mean,
I love when the 30-year-olds say that.
I know. Yes.
I'm breaking down.
Right. Yeah.
I'm breaking down already. Just
no idea.
Right. I've gotten to live out with my husband of him being like, "Oh man, this is starting to. What's that sound my leg's making?" And I'm like, "That's just that's." He's like, "There might be something wrong," and I'm like, "No, there's nothing
wrong with you.
That's actually just." How you sound when you stand up now is there's things that just start cracking as you walk up the stairs. It's like it sounds like you're walking on fucking pop rocks as you're walking up the stairs.
Oh, yeah. It'll just get louder as you get older since your hearing's going to go down.
Yeah. So
I've
got to listen to Royce get older, and it's just funny because I'm like, I'm not old.
My wife and I first got together, my knee, you can hear my knees pop from across the room, and she's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's my knee." She's like, "You need to go see someone." I'm like, it's been doing that. It's good.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Just a few snap, crackle, pops.
There you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Schott, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Ought to Be Schott on Snapchat and Instagram, and at Chris R. Schott on Facebook. I'm getting better.
Whoa! He just added one.
He just set that account up.
Right there. Yeah, it's a brand new account, folks. Yeah, brand new account. All right, Goeken, how about you?
I'm on Facebook at Jim Goeken.
All right, Clayton.
Yep, you can find me at the Jefferson County Bourbon Collective on Facebook and Jeff Co. Bourbon Collective on Instagram.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. We put everything that we do out there, so it's definitely worth seeing. And again, that's abvnetwork.com. And come by and see us. We're live and in person at the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. Maybe you want to see what classes we've got coming up. Maybe you're coming through St. Louis, want to visit us, want to know more. We are available online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you very soon. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Till next time.
Adios.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.